You know, one of the things that really made a big impression on me in the traffic office was how many phone calls we get about signs. Seems like everybody wants a sign. Uh, you know, we have sign budgets, sign types, location of sign. Uh, Officials call for signs. No, this is not a good sign. This is a great sign. Crazy, crazy. Everybody and their dog wants a sign. So I started thinking, you know, it'd be really awesome if we had some type of tracking system, a way to keep track of all of our signs. Just think of the time, the money you would save. You wouldn't have to think of the safety aspect of it. You wouldn't have to send somebody out into the field as often to locate the signs if you had it right there on your computer. So if you've had these same thoughts and if you're in luck, because today I'll be introducing our sign inventory system. It's one really cool tool. That's our agenda. Okay, House Bill 1353. This was important because House Bill 1353, John Barton sent out a memo stating that House Bill 1353 had been approved. This was significant because what it did was it gave the Texas Transportation Commission the authority to raise our speed limits to 75 miles per hour on our roadways. But with two things that we had to do. We had to do a traffic study, and we had to demonstrate that we could sign that roadway safely for 75. The division went through and they went ahead and started looking at all of our roadways, high-speed roadways. They did all the studies. They did this statewide. They got the information together, sent it out to the districts. We looked at it, evaluated it, and we selected what we thought would be appropriate for this work. We knew that three things were going to happen. We were going to have to update our strip maps, our curve advisory speeds. We're going to have to look at those, and we're going to also have to switch out our speed limit signs. At the time, it was during the summer. We had a lot of work, very busy. So what we did was we elected to utilize a consultant for this work. We selected AECom to do the strip map revisions for us, updates. So what is a strip map? A strip map is a document that records speed limits, roadway details, and requires legislative approval. This is an example of what one looks like. Some roadway details would include roadway name, cross streets, speed limits, school zones, and city limits. It is very important to keep your strip maps updated. You never know when a strip map may be requested through an open records request. Have any of y'all ever had a strip map requested through an open records request? Okay, yep. Strip maps are legal documents and have been used in court to dispute speeding tickets. That's probably why. This is the Austin district. The roadways in green were the roads that we selected to raise the speed limit on. It was about 600 miles of roadway, 11 counties. Those were again, the roadways that the strip maps were going to be revised on and where we're collecting our data. So let's talk about the data. The data collected included roadway details, horizontal and vertical curve data, ball banking of horizontal curves, and calculation of curve advisory speeds. We also needed to update all of our speed-related signs. Because of the amount of field work already required to update our strip maps, we decided to add data collection of roadway signage to the project scope. This added great value to an already awesome project. We were out there, we started looking, and we had so much information we were gathering just doing the strip map, so it seemed like we were getting everything except the signs. So let's go ahead and pick up the signs also. Let's leverage that work. This is where we leverage the strip map work to develop our sign inventory system. We added this to the scope, which is a smart, efficient use of time and budget. Pictured is a segment of roadway that was populated with signs collected for this project. The signs are depicted in green, white, yellow, and brown dots. Now let me give you a brief intro into the sign inventory system and what it includes. The system is a database that is available in multi-formats such as Excel and Google Earth. It can handle tons of data, unlimited data, lots of data. The data is located through ArcGIS Collector, a free app. You can get that it's a free app, and can be loaded on any smartphone, tablet, or computer. Now, I'm not a GIS expert, and I don't even know what GIS stands for. I had to look that up. I had no clue, but I do know Excel and Google Earth. I think all of us have had experience with Excel and Google Earth. As long as you know those two different programs, you can maneuver through this sign inventory system. Some of the data that we put in, this is the data that we put into our collector. Sign type, support, location. All of our signs are geolocated, and you're able to add images or photos to that. The sign data can be collected, edited, and updated in the field or the office as long as you have an internet connection. The data is live linked to the database, which allows us to receive real-time instant updates. Once the data is collected, there are many ways we can display the data. We can display the data based in GIS, Google Earth, and Excel. 3 ways of showing that. Of course, this is the Excel version. Once we collect all the data out in the field on our signs, this is what we get. This is, you have the opportunity to look at, and again, like I said, if you know Excel, it's in an easy format for you to look at. Also, over here on the right side, we have our hyperlink, and that goes to our Google Earth view. So all the data collected, we can look at it as an Excel, and that's our Google view. Sometimes people are better visual people, so you have the same data being shown, but just in a different format. There's your Google view. If you notice there's dots, those dots are signs. Each color represents a type of signs. The green is for guide, yellow warning, white regulatory, and brown is other. So if you wanted to go and say select a sign, go ahead and select your sign, and there's your data. And that's exactly the same data that's on your Excel spreadsheet. You can work either way, whatever you're comfortable with. So that's the second way. Okay, this is going to be the GIS desktop. This is the GIS view. This is what GIS Dashboard looks like. The dashboard is a comprehensive management tool that allows for quick stats and queries. The dashboard can be customized and personalized for your needs. It provides you the flexibility to display the data as graphs, pie charts, and stats, and allows you to select specific sign characteristics that you would like to quantify, evaluate, or sort. The charts viewed in the dashboard are directly linked to the data that is being viewed on the map. The data changes as the view on the map changes. So on the left side, you have all of your different pie charts, bar charts. Those are customized for whatever you're looking at, whatever you need to find, whatever information you want on the signs. On the right side, you have the map. You may have 200, 300 signs, and the data reflected on the left is the data that is actually in that view, in your map view. If you zoom in and you only have maybe 10 signs, well, then the data is going to also change. It's directly related to what you see in the map. And again, this is on Excel, Google Earth, and this is the GIS. So this is some of the examples of some of the data we've got. This is, of course, a pie chart. This work authorization, we had close to 6,000 signs. About 300 of them were unacceptable condition that we needed to, switch out. This also is another example. Now, this is the nice thing, too. We can look at the age of the sign. You have 0 to 5 years old. We had 25%. 5 to 10, 43%, 10 plus, 21%, and data unknown, 11%. Now, the thing that's, when you look at the 5 to 10, you have 43%. You almost have half your signs that are going to be losing their reflectivity, that you may need to replace. Couple that with a 21% of 10 years or older. So now you have a tool to start budgeting. You can start looking, you can start justifying your budget when you go to want to replace these signs. Also, it's broken out by your county. So your maintenance section, whoever, if you want to self-perform these sign replacements, you've got a lot of information right here. And I don't know how many of you went through this fire drill exercise, but this is a great example of the benefit of the sign inventory system. We had an MUTCD requirement that required us to switch out the watch for ice on bridge signs with bridge may ice in cold weather. So go figure. So we had to switch those out. So, at the time we were developing this, we weren't complete with this system, but this will give you an example of how we could use it. You see Bastrop, Blanco, Gillespie. Those are the counties, and then underneath the county you have the number of signs. That's how many signs were in that county that needed to be replaced. Now you can break that out even more. So under Bastrop, we had State Highway 71, State Highway 21, US 290, State Highway 304. So those were the four roadways that these signs needed to be replaced. Then you can even drill down even further. On State Highway 71, for example, you have control section. So now you have the control section, you have the number of signs in each control section. Now, I don't know, how you guys did all the field data for this, but I know we spent, a month or two just driving out, looking for the signs. When you think about the safety, the exposure to the road, what you could save, this is a very powerful tool. This is a game changer for, whenever you're putting together your plans or whenever you need to get that information, when you have this sign inventory. This is kind of the way you think through it, or the way I think through it. The first is, you evaluate. You evaluate, that's getting the sign data, that's getting it all together, that's out in the field, getting your condition of your signs, your requirements, anchor, foundation. That's the evaluation part. Now the priority, the sign condition, we saw the pie chart early on that, we had about 300 signs that needed to be replaced, but that's your priority, MUTCD requirement. We just saw that with the other ice on bridge sign. And then the data fabrication, that was the age. So now you're starting to set up your priorities. You've got your data, and you can choose whatever priority you would like to attack your signs or look at your signs. The great thing about it is you can justify your budget. Now that you have the data, you have the priority, you can look and say, hey, I need this amount of money to replace my signs. You can justify all of that work. And then you implement. You can self-perform, you can order your signs, check your inventory, let a project maintenance do PS&E, whatever it is you want to do, but you're able to justify the needs. Some final thoughts on the benefits. The sign inventory system allows us to take a proactive approach to sign maintenance, budget planning, and the creation of work orders. It is a comprehensive database that is user-friendly and accurate. It utilizes software programs such as Excel and Google Earth to create readable files for everyone. Okay, so here we go. This is our demonstration or demo. We do have a demo that we set up. As you can see shown on the slide, there's a login and password for the demo we have set up for you to try out. Just download ArcGIS Collector to your smartphone, computer, or tablet and log on. I mean, if you've got, I know a lot of you have smartphones. I've been seeing you guys during these presentations looking at them. So, you got them, you can use them now. You can download this app, and you can, we provided a login password. Now, once you log in, we already have some signs that are already in there that have data put in. So you can change the data, you can look at the data, you can even upload images, put a selfie on there, leave some notes. Do something and let us know what you think of the demo. I think it's an awesome tool. I want you to try it out. Check it out. From this point forward in the presentation, we have included the login information on the slides. For those of you that don't have your smartphone, no need to worry. During the break, we'll have AECOM right up here up front. They have some tablets, computers, whatever you need. You come on up, take a look. They'll walk you through the process. They'll be happy to do that for you. So come on up and see the guys. They did a great job for us. The next slide is going to be a brief demonstration. It's going to show you what the sign inventory system can do. This is what you're viewing on your iPhone. Zooming in, obviously. There's your sign, the green dot. Now these data fields are where we're putting in the data. Those are customized for whatever you would like. I mean, we had certain things that we were looking for in our project. Your project's going to be different. So all of this right here, you can tailor that to whatever you're looking for, whatever you need. We've got control section, MUTCD code, sign condition, type. Pull-down menus are good, especially if you're using Excel spreadsheet. You want to keep the data consistent. You never know who's going to go out into the field. You want to make sure everybody's calling things correctly, the same thing. Got our calendars, born on date for our signs. field notes, and then there's your attachments. That's where you can put your selfie in there. So let's take a look at what you have. You go to your details, and then you click on the sign, and then you can look at what you just inputted. You can check it. You can QC it right there. You know, check it out, look at it. Now, these are the pictures that were uploaded. We took 4 pictures. The foundation, we want to make sure we were looking at that. The back of sign, and then the front of sign. I think the sign looks how appropriate, right? So, and then we have the sticker. So that's the demo, and like I said, I encourage you guys to try it out and take a look at it. Some of the challenges we had, I mean, the safety, the field collection. You can imagine we're out on the roadway, we're ball banking curves, we're collecting sign data, going up and down the roadway. There's a lot of exposure out there. So what did we do? Proper PPE. Hard hats, a vest, made sure we had that. Daily safety meetings. Hydration, it was during the summer, we want to make sure everybody's hydrated. And then vehicle safety, make sure it's properly maintained, all your lights are working correctly. The data storage, large data required because of the photos. Remember, we have 6,000 signs, and at a minimum, we had 4 pictures per sign. So that's a lot of data. So what are we going to do? We're having problems with data now. I mean, we can't, the network is really slow. So we went ahead and we just stored on ArcGIS, the server, on the app. That's what I'm saying, the app. The app is the key. Use that app. You can keep all your data on the server. Easy access also serves as a backup for our project. Organization, the unique sign indicator. We started thinking, how are we going to call out the signs? We have 6,000 signs. Are we going to just say 1, 2, 3? That doesn't really work for us. So we thought through that process. So what did we do? We used a unique sign ID, and we used the control section. That was the basis for the sign. We used control section, and then we numbered the signs 1 through how many ever we had. I think we started at 1,000 for that. So that's what we did with the signs. Significant data collection. We had, again, we were up and down the roads with our strip map updates, picking up the signs. So what makes sense? Let's consolidate the work. Let's leverage that work. Consolidated the field work for the strip maps and signage inventory. And the consistency of the data. Because they're using Excel, like I said, you have to be consistent with your data. If you're going to sort, query, you have to be consistent with what you're putting down. You may be sending out groups from different maintenance offices, and different people are going to be out there looking at things. You have to figure out a way to keep your data consistent, and we did. We used a lot of MUTCD classifications, drop-down menus, and photos for verification. Field collection was performed using the ArcGIS Collector app, which allowed the collection of data by use of computer, smartphone, or tablet. The information collected is instantly available online and can be viewed in the office or in the field. ArcGIS Collector, ArcGIS connects with Excel and Google Earth to create files readable by everyone. Looking forward, we'll need to address maintenance, storage, and updating of the database. This will require training of staff. I mean, your data is only as good as the day you put it in. It changes, signs get hit. So what are you going to do to keep your data updated? We have to look at that. Also looking forward, we'll now be able to establish a sign history and be able to provide better budgeting information. We'll be able to provide more accurate reporting of equipment and materials. In my opinion, the sign inventory system can easily be utilized as an asset management tool. I really think that TxDOT, I think we're moving towards asset management. I think we're going to see that in the future. We need to do, we're trying to do things more, with less, and I really think that's the next step with all our assets, not just signs, it's with everything. There's some of the examples of what we can use for our asset manager. It can be used for bridges, culverts, ITS signage. It's not just for signs, it's a little bit for everything. Okay, following up, work authorization 1 was so good, we liked it so much that we went ahead and decided to update all of our strip maps. We looked at Williamson, Travis, and Hayes County. What we're doing on these, it's a little bit different criteria. For any of our urban strip maps that are 5 years or older, we're updating those. Rural strip maps that are 10 years or older, we're updating those also. It's an additional about 1,200 miles of, 1,200 miles of roadway, 3 counties and an estimated 25,000 signs, which makes our sign inventory, we're going to be right pushing 31,000. And the 25 is just an estimate. That's a lot of data, a lot of information. This has been a great partnership. You know, I really appreciate the work that AECOM has done in helping us develop this. I think it's got a lot of potential for a lot of things. Worked really well with these guys, and you know, I encourage you to, if you have any questions, you know, more about the technical aspect of you know, the GIS and you know, that they're definitely the ones to talk to. And again, I mean, anything you know, is a great project. That's any questions?
Let's give him a round of applause first. Does anybody have any questions for John?
You bet. What's at the, yeah, here, let me just go to the,
At the beginning.
it's at the,
Okay, it's for the login. Oh, wow.
there you go. All right.
Any other questions?
Yes, sir. Man, that's a great question, you know, and we're working that out. You know, there's different ways of doing that. You can, you know, you can isolate it maybe with the maintenance offices. You can have maybe a central person, maybe in the traffic office, that will maintain that. And those are definitely very good questions and things that we need to address. But it's a must. We have to find a way of maintaining. Not only that, but when we're building projects, when we're putting new signs out in the field, how do we get those into our system? I mean, that's the time to do it when they're brand new. But we're working on that, and we have different options. So it's something we're looking at right now.